one thing very important is hospital is important to everyone, probably right from the birth to death. Most of us are born in hospitals and indeed most of us will die in hospitals. Hospital is required at every stage. It has some sort of connotation within the minds of the people. There may be some of the good things, there may be bad things, but overall everybody is so much dependent on hospital. Either they are afraid of or they are very much concerned of. But one way or the other, hospital is something which is dear to everyone. Second thing which I say is that hospital is some sort of industry which is encompassing everything what you can think on the earth. You think of business, you think of hotel, you think of any of the Sarai or any of the, you think of the highly sophisticated things. All it has to be done within the hospital. So hospital encompasses virtually every aspect of work, every aspect of other industries whatsoever maybe. And as you were talking to, it is again involves legalities, regulations, and it is an industry, and so it comes under the purview of so many industrial disputes act and all. With that introduction, let me just start with the history, which will not take much time. That the word hospice is derived from the a word from the French word or a Latin word, which talks of a refuge, a house for rest, or a host. This is how the concept of hospital started, and ultimately, it kept on going on. And next slide, please. Next slide, please, Satindra. Yes. So, in the Greek and Roman civilization, the temples of God, and then after Christianity, the churches took over, the hospital work, and then there is a lot of, contribution by Florence Nightingale in giving it a scientific shape, and all the things often we know of the Hippocrates that scientific concept was brought. All said and done, in India, we had, with the East India Company, they established in 1664 one of the modern hospitals, which were actually meant for their own soldiers, and later on they extended another hospital in 1668 for the civil population. That was the starting of the modern hospitals, and ultimately the medical colleges started coming, and the first medical college was started in the British time in 1835 in Kolkata, and then in Mumbai, Chennai, Delhi, and everywhere. And they started increasing the infrastructure of the dispensaries in the hospitals. And by 1885, there were virtually 1,250 hospitals and dispensaries. Can we go to the next one? Now, thinking of, a lot of controversy is always there that these are clinical people, these are the public health people, this is a job of the clinician. When it came to, definition of the hospital by the WHO, it's not today, it is long back in the 50s itself. The definition of the hospital is that it's an integral part of social and community organization. It is for complete healthcare that encompasses both curative and preventive. And its outreach patient, that it is not confined to the walls of the hospitals. Its outreach patient services will reach to the families in their home environment. And of course, hospital is for training, research, and other things also. So the WHO right from the beginning has been very clear about the function of the hospital, that they encompassed it within its definition, that it provides complete health care and not only the curative care, which is the concept of most of the people. Can we go to the next one? You see, as I said that, hospital is different than other industries. This has been a big issue. Right in 1978, the Supreme Court gave a judgment that hospital is like any other industry. In fact, the judgment also said that all these devasthanas and all are also industries. They meant that wherever there is a systematic work going on, there is employer-employee relationship, and there is production of goods or services, all those will be considered industries. Our medical fraternity has been, putting up many of the representations that these should not be as per other industries, and there are many things pending in courts, and something may come tomorrow, but as of date, the hospital is still an industry, and thus, once it is an industry, it falls under all the industrial acts, whether the people have to want to join a union or they want to go for any of the disputes, all that machineries as are available to others are available to the hospitals also. So how it differs and how it is important is, first thing in the mind of anyone is, hospital deals with question of life and death. The mere fact life and death means there has to be the people who can deal with different, life and maintaining of life of the people. There has to be some culture. There have to be some equipment. So that encompasses a number of things which have to be built in within that, right from infrastructure to facilities, and the life and death of the question comes to everybody's mind. The moment, as you had, the moment people go to, especially to the emergency services, in their mind is sub question, life ka question hai. So that is one of the very, very important thing. And then today, of course, we think of financial profits and all. But what I say still today is, we want to save at any cost. It's not whether hospital will be able to earn or not, which is for today is the concept of many of the hospitals. You have to keep in mind of financial issues also. But as for fundamental structure or the structure, we have to save the patient at any cost. Another problem comes from this diversity of personal work. Highly super specialized people on one hand, the administrators on the other hand, the staff, paramedical and nursing on the other hand, totally or virtually illiterate people who are very much required for housekeeping and others on the other hand. So hospital encompasses a number of activities which you will find that it is not in any other industry. So to combine them and to make them one, and how to bring a team concept which is responsible for giving treatment, is one of the big issues. So because there are diversity of personnel, similarly there are diversity of functions. There are the people who are dealing with the highly competent works which are to be done, they are highly technical, and then there are people who are simply involved in any work that may be related to like any other office. Then, of course, within our country, we have diversity of practice, and it is very difficult to come out of it. And they also are in interference with each other many a times, and very difficult to control people when they are giving their consent for treatment, or when they are undergoing, any of the treatment. They will always talk of other pathies as well. That comes into our way of treatment. Then is the hospital is a person where you cannot have single line of control as we have in industries. It's not that there is a HR department and then there is a HR head and there is a production and production head. Here, a nurse at floor is working for a doctor, junior doctor. She is working for the nurse in charge. She is working for a senior doctor. She is a part of the administration. So duality and multiplicity of controls are there within this when people are working. And all the time, whatever we are doing within the hospital is a personalized human service. Every time we have to keep in mind that everything has to be human, whether it is in terms of input, it is in terms of processes, it is in terms of output. At every point, human angle is involved. And one very, very peculiar thing of the hospital is, you can close any of the services, but hospital services run 24 hours, 365 days. At any point of time, you cannot close. But the problem that comes is that, well, in spite of we are talking too much of quality, quantity, medical audits, this and that, but actually the quality of medical care or the health care is very difficult to discern. It is very difficult for people. People may be, getting the best, still may be dissatisfied. People may be getting something and still they may be satisfied. So patient satisfaction, quality of service, quantity of services is an issue within the hospitals. Another important issue where we are caught is that, in spite of everything, public has very high expectations from them. The mere fact that anybody is a doctor, as you are seeing it today, people are coming forward to admire them and call them warriors and whatnot. But when you are working on the floor level, many a times you are, not able to come to their expectations, and you may be a victim of their violence right at the site of the hospital. So it ranges right from the smaller expectation that you are getting something to the highest expectation you get too much and you are not satisfied. And it is very difficult to control. Then, the technology involved. So wide range of technologies that is involved in hospitals. The way that especially IT is developing, all of our therapeutic services, all of our operative services, diagnostic facilities, monitoring of patients, everything has undergone a sea change. You can think every day we are getting one of the more sophisticated technologies, and then of course we are also moving out of the hospital to provide the services in terms of telemedicine, which is virtual hospitals and other things which are coming up. And there is a huge development in the field of technology. Legal issues, and as you were talking, I may not be able to talk everything about how many things are involved, but let me tell you, just in setting up a hospital and running a hospital, 258 acts are involved, right from setting up of the hospital till running it later, which probably none of us can even remember any time. And I've been working throughout, I cannot enumerate maybe more than 20, 30, but there are 258 acts that are applicable to hospitals. And we go to the next one. This is the complexity of the hospital than the other industries. Next, please. Coming to the functions, why it is necessary that hospital is not only for curative services. Just go through the range of activities that we are doing in our public health and others. Right, with intramural, that is within the hospital, we are involved in diagnostic, curative, rehabilitative, emergencies. All these are the restorative facilities. What we want that whatever gone wrong with our health should be brought back. Then there are preventive activities like any other which we are doing at the primary health center or at the other centers. That may be in terms of antenatal clinic and childbirth, supervision of the growth and development, health education, occupational health. Let's go to the next one. Then the education. You know that our education is one of the most important points, and we have been very particular about reorganizing the medical education, nursing education, and there is still the things are going on, and many things have come out in the last few years. Besides, so the hospitals, the teaching hospitals are the basic places, and the other hospitals, also general hospitals, are involved in one way or the other in teaching of the workers. That is whether it is medical graduates, postgraduate courses, nurses, medical social workers, paramedical staff, and community education. So all type of education works are taken up by the hospital. And then there is, of course, in everything, every activity, research is involved that may range from clinical to hospital practices to hospital administration, psychological, social aspects, and other. Maybe go to the next one. So the fact that which we are talking, hospitals are without walls. Hospitals reach to the families in their own environment. What we mean, we will provide outpatient services. They may be within the community, they may be the industrial setups, they may be at a certified place. So it is all type of hospital services depending on the need of the particular area are being organized by most of the hospitals in various places. Then are the home care services. Today, within this COVID period, the home care services were the main. They got a lot of importance from services because the people were not able to reach the hospital. There are organized agencies providing sophisticated home care services with all type of devices which are required even up to the resuscitation. Then, of course, all type of outreach programs, they may be in terms of exhibitions, they may be in terms of operations, they may be any of the activities through the mobile clinics that are done, then you know that the hospitals are organizing various, daycare centers and operations and everything for the hospital. So these are various activities that are being done outside the precincts of the hospital. Going to the next one, please. Now, the functional areas, as they are divided, just for the sake of enumerating, there are the clinical and nursing services that comprise of outpatient, inpatient, accident emergency, OT, ICU, and intensive cardiac care, etc. Then are the supportive services. The supportive services, as we know, are the main services without which the hospital cannot work at all. In fact, if you think of right and left hand, you can both ways say that we are the right hand or the left hand of the clinical people who have to provide the services. So these are the radiological or the various type of diagnostic services, blood bank, medical record department, CSSD, pharmacy, laundry, medical social work, rehabilitation. All these are the support services without which no hospital can work, which may be required more in one term or the other, depends on the nature of the hospital. Next one, please. Then hospital, as we say, just like any establishment, it has an office, it has people to work, it has the HR issues of the people, it has the financial issues, it has materials. So all that, whatever is happening in any of the organization as an administrative function is also the function of the hospital. That may be in terms of personal, finance, material, public relations, fire safety, security, etc. And then, of course, are the utility services, and very particular are the hospital engineering services are very important. It is not only from the point of view of comfort, it is very important from the treatment point of view, because the mere fact that when you talk of, say, air conditioning and all, the things will be totally different in different areas. Right? Then the consideration will be more towards the hospital infections rather than the providing of other comforts. So similarly, the housekeeping, dietary, all services are there, and you have the transport in terms of general transport. It may be in terms of ambulance. Then again, ambulance may be, with the basic life services. They may be with the advanced life. So various type of transports will be there. Can we go to the next one? So as we have been talking, hospitals are and we say that hospitals are actually the agents of the primary health care. If most of you, when my colleagues who are by now 60, 70-year-old, they know when the Almata Declaration came in 1978, within 3-4 years, the WHO became very active and said that until and unless we involve hospitals in primary health care, probably the exact what we want through the basic health services may not be the fruitful. So that is when in 1983, also they came on that district must be the center of the district health services will be the center from where all hospitals as well as other services will be coordinated in an integrated manner in such a way that hospitals are also involved in all the primary healthcare activities. So till today, and it has gone much more beyond that in many of the things. So education on concerning health problem, promotion of food supply and nutrition, safe water supply, basic sanitation education, family welfare services, maternal health services, child health, prevention of unwanted pregnancies, prevention of management of RTIs, STIs, adolescent health services were added later on. Can we go to the next one? Immunization against major infections, prevention control. So all the parts of the primary health care, whatever has been whatever we are doing right from the primary health centers to the upwards is also taken up by all the hospitals, whether they are at the community health level or they are the top centers like national level, All India Institute of Medical Sciences or the PTI, etc. Next, please. Now, as you said, the hospital has to be viewed as a system together performing, all the subsystems are involved which have to be coming together, whether it is a clinical, it is an administrator, it is social, it involves the cultural value, and but the peculiarities of the hospital is that it's a open system and it cannot be within a closed system. It's an open organization, all the time interacting with its environment. You cannot draw any boundaries for the hospital. Though we have given catchment areas and everything, but still it's a social system, takes into consideration what are the disease profiles of these areas, what are the cultural aspects required there, what are the paying capacities of the people, how are the people living there, what are their living. So all these are being considered by the hospital when we are making the hospital. Then, as I earlier said, outcome of hospital system is not clearly measurable. So we have many indices, but they are indices in terms of maybe you have the morbidity, mortality, and services and what index. But still, it is very difficult to measure the hospital services, and it has to be in dynamic equilibrium with the wider social system. Anybody and everybody can enter system. Anybody and everybody can criticize hospital. Everybody has a stake in hospital. I can go to any hospital and ask why this patient is not being treated well. All this happens only in hospital, not in other industries. People cannot interfere with the other industries. So with the growth of the system, it's a highly regulated and specialized system which is working day and night. Next, please. So now we have talked of system and we have talked of the hospital services, the complexity of the hospital, how our hospitals can be connected with the public and all. Now just try to think of different perspective. Client thinks from the client point of view, the perspective is they must have easy access to services. They must have the best quality. They must respond to their needs. They must have the freedom of choice the moment they enter. Like, today when we enter, we say, I want to go to the Ayurvedic wing. I want to go to the allopathic wing in many of the hospitals, especially in the government. Right? So then what type of treatment? This is all client oriented. Whereas the providers, that is the physician, nurses and other staff, they are more in terms of professional norms. What are the compensations, maintenance, provisioning, quality of care? These are some of the things which they are thinking. Whereas we people, when we talk of, as administrators and the running of the organizations, our main concern become how to contain costs, how to control the quality, how can we bring in efficiency, how can we attract people and say that they are satisfied, how we can mobilize community staff, how can we have we can have the staff which is highly qualified. One of the biggest issues, especially with government hospital, is retention of the super specialists and the specialists. Most of the times, one third of them don't join and one third leave after 1 or 2 years. So that is one of the big issues when we think in terms of organization. And collectively, we have to think in terms of proper allocation of resources, what are the competing needs, critical representations, coordination with other agencies. And when you combine all different four expectations and perspectives of the people, you can realize how you have to run the hospitals. Come to the next one. Can we go to the next slide? Now, in fact, I have been talking also. Now the role of hospital has been totally changing. At one time, people used to go when they were very sick. Today, people who are to live their life like with hypertensive, diabetes, and everything, all are visiting hospital regularly for their checkups, and so it has become from acute diseases to chronic. It is I've already talked of from curative to preventive medicine, restorative to totally comprehensive, preventive, promotive, curative, rehabilitative. It's not in. It is not only the center for inpatient care. It is providing outpatient and home care, and it has a community orientation. Things of regional combining with the centers. It has a very much concerned about what are the centers working under it. What will be the referral system? Where will be the primary referral? Where will be the secondary referral? All these are the things which are there. And today, of course, the role has changed, and today without going to hospital also, you can get the treatment. So the role has been changing in such a manner. Coming to the next one. Yes, being, most of our, I need not explain it, but all of us know that hospital is a matrix organization. As I said that you have duality of function and duality of control, you know the people within the hospital. Those of my colleagues who have experienced them, especially the head of department of various specialties, are the ones who really run the hospitals, because there are the functional units which are working and running independently, and there is a vertical administrative control, and it is very difficult to establish a vertical administrative control because the clinical people have an upper hand over the administration. So that way, the duality of control cannot be avoided. And when we really see the being hospital being a metric organization, the administrator's job comes to ensure that clinicians try to understand the resources what are available, and out of that, what options you can take for treatment. So, and that is one of the basic jobs where the top management or administrators at different levels are involved. Next one, please. Now, as Dr. Mangal said, that what are the types of hospitals? You know, the types of hospital may be based on different type of classifications. Like they may be general hospitals, means there is nothing like defined. Like our first referral going to the community health center with 30 beds, where we go to the, there will be a general physician, there will be a pediatrician, there will be gynecologist, there will be surgeon, like that. It's a general hospital, and it may be even ranging from 30 bed to 100 bed. It can be general hospital and all. And today, when we talk of general hospital, actually the general hospital with the 100 beds and above generally have specialist services. That is, those are compared to those running general specialties, medicine, surgery, gynae, orthopedics, all these are our general surgeries. So then are the chronic care hospitals, which are meant for long-term diseases and others. And then teaching hospital. This is based on clinical basis. Then they may be, this is wrongly written, they may be based on ownership basis. That is, are they government hospitals? Like they may be government, semi-government hospital, public hospitals. They are under the act of the hospital that we have special, under special act, we have All India Institute of Medical Sciences, PGI, the hospital at Pondicherry, which are autonomous in their functioning, but they are all under otherwise with the governmental controls. Then there are the voluntary hospitals, charitable hospitals. These hospitals are established and again under the act, and then they get certain benefits than others. Today, what we see, to go to the charitable hospitals, their schedule is becoming very difficult, and I feel that the number of voluntary hospitals which has gone to closure is more than 50%. What is now coming up is the private and corporate hospitals. In spite of big corporate hospital, it is the actual services at the different levels are mostly being provided by the nursing homes in different setups. So there are the private nursing home and corporate hospitals. All these are for-profit hospitals. Next, please. Hitendra, can we go to the next one? Yeah, yes. Then based on our location, as I said, within all of you are familiar that we start from the sub-center, which we call today as wellness clinic, and then primary health center, and we go to the community health center is there. That is with the 30 beds having basic specialty. Unfortunately, within the community health center at present, we have more than 50% specialists are not present. Thereafter are the taluk level hospital and the district hospital as per the present government and the MCI or the new NMC. All the district hospitals have to become medical colleges, because earlier you had to start medical colleges with 500 beds. Now it has come down to that we can start with the 300 beds and later on go to the 500 beds. And just because of the manpower development and all these district hospitals will ultimately, and many of them have already become the medical colleges. And is based on your patches. All of you know that we within our government we have a special ministry that Ayush that is running Ayurvedic and Unani and Siddha and other hospitals. Then you can think in terms of we can say profit for profit and non-profit. Non-profit hospitals. The government is basically non-profit, and for corporate hospitals are profit. There are the hospitals have to be registered under the different acts. Then you can say there are the category A, B, C, D hospitals according to the number of beds. Up to 50 beds from 25 is category A, 51 to 100 B, and so on. Category E is 1 to 70 beds. Next, please. When you go to do, even if you think in terms of the government also, there is a governing body, there is a corporate body, whatsoever name it may be, depending on you are a private organization or you are another organization. Like I was in ESIC, so there is a ESI corporation with multiple representation from various stakeholders. Similarly, you go to the railways, there is a railway board like that. There is a governing body in one form or the other which gives into the policy matters of running those hospitals and dispensaries or health centers all over the country. Or at the individual level, wherever there are the corporate, you have the governing body which comprises of the top people. Most of them either own the share or they are the owners of the, and or there may be people who are renowned within the sector. Hospital virtually runs with various committees. If you start naming the committees right from safety committee to security committee to medical audit committee to anything you come with, there may be 20 type of committees. All these are working under different type of specialists. Their reports are combined, they are integrated and put up to the medical director or the medical superintendent to see that how the hospital is running in terms of various functions. So in fact, actually committee spectrum of when the hospital runs on committee spectrum of main functionaries you have in terms of medical superintendent or within the American system, like some of the charitable hospital and old hospitals are following, you have the hospital administrator under which are the medical director and the lay director, and you have nursing superintendent, and very important are doing the day-to-day work are the heads of departments of different specialties. Next, please. Now, complexity problems and issues which we have to keep in mind as an administrator all the time is, especially right from planning of the hospital, is hospital must fit into the social, economic, professional, and traditional fabric of the region. We must be very clear that where to make what type of hospital. Where we have gone wrong that when we start thinking that everywhere we can create the same type of hospital, that is not what is required. It is we must go by the cultural norms of the place, what is their disease profile, what are the industrial setups, what type of injuries they suffer. There are certain diseases which are more common. So all disease profile is main in that. Then always think that hospital involve all the people because hospital is an institution of interest to all the sectors of the society. In fact, any hospital cannot, as we are talking in terms of multi-sectoral involvement in public health and all, same is true of the hospital also. And every point of time, the central point within our mind while we are running the hospital has to be quality of care and patient satisfaction. But at the same time, especially when we are within the private sectors, we have also to think return on investment because this rare you cannot survive if you are not able to put in the money which you earn to upgrade your facility. 10 is coping up with the technological advancement and patient expectations. Since I am from, I can just think of 1970 or some 80, my colleagues like Dr. Mangal can think of what our laboratory used to be. And today somebody will not use that laboratory even in a dispensary. So you can think of how the technological advancements have been there, and how you have to cope up with that. And today you have to have all those sophisticated equipments what are required depending on the type of services and type of hospital you are running. Then of course are the multiplicity of function, how to combine people which are involved in administrative services, support services, business services, hostels, how to integrate their services and keep them happy, keep them motivated, keep them doing well. Is another thing which is and one thing I will again and again say, being an experienced man in administration, you must recognize clinicians' dominance. Until and unless you will not realize clinician, because this is being given by the society, and you must involve them in management. And this is how to get clinicians with you is an art and science which I think most of us know, but many times find it difficult to exercise. So clinicians are the most important one, and we must keep in mind how to run services by involving them day in and day out. Is first, never trust anything on them. Always ask for their opinions. You can always be, giving all ifs and buts, but don't try to put anything on clinician without consulting them. Many management problems, like in any organization, there are the interpersonal problems, there are the intergroup problems, there are the interinstitutional, intra-institutional, all type of management problems which you can list from HR to materials to any of the operations you will face within the hospital, and you have to be a good problem solver. Can we go to the next one? I think I'll not go much. These are some of the norms which have been given, like uh, nowadays, like we know that the hospitals, actually you are not able to find the site which you want, but you have to select your hospital at the site you are provided by the government. And but still you must think of the various factors, the size of the population, transport availability, barriers like if there are any barriers in travel or other things, what are the type of areas, are they low lying, are they quake proof, all these are the factors which in making any good building you will think of, you will think in terms of hospital. Next please. So here I stop and I